fight like a roaring fight. Quick during dreams under stadium lights. Sweat and fire, hearts ignite. Evening sports buffet with the Ginch replay. Highlights, wild scores collide. It's the riot live tonight.
Happy Thursday, everybody. You ready for the weekend? I know I am.
On the chalkboard slate, rivals clash.
I looked at the weather report next week, and it's supposed to be outstanding.
But
then it's supposed to get cold again after that. After about 4 or 5 days of 60s, 70s, and 80s, it's going to dip back into the 50s. Welcome to another edition of Early News Sports Buffet with the Ginch. I'm the Ginch. Here on the Cole County Entertainment Network and Boost Media. I've been watching shit show that is watched in DC. I'm trying to adjust my camera. I know grade schoolers, you could throw them into a room and they get shit done. But anywho, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? Some news and notes from around the world in sports. Jason Tatum for the Celtics. Looks like he's going to make a season debut tomorrow after tearing his Achilles 10 months ago. I hope the Celtics know what they're doing. I hope Jason Tatum knows what he's doing. I get it. The Celtics, who are in prime position for a playoff push, but I just hope, for his sake, that he's not trying to rush back too soon. And Jaylen Brown will be under consideration for MVP for what he's been able to do with this team for most of the season. Does Jason Tatum make the Celtics that much better? Absolutely. But I just hope the Celtics and Jason Tatum know what they're doing, because God forbid he comes back too soon and something happens, then the fans and everybody else are going to question the move. So I'm not a doctor. You tear your Achilles back in 10 months. It's only March. Maybe wait till April. I don't know. But he knows his body. The doctors know. And maybe he's good to go. We'll see. Some NFL news. The Buffalo Bills have agreed to acquire Bears wide receiver DJ Moore. Reported by Elena Getzenberg and Courtney Crone at ESPN. Buffalo is sending a 2026 second-round draft pick to Chicago in exchange for DJ Moore and a 2026 fifth-round selection, sources told Adam Schefter. The Bills will be guaranteeing $50.5 million of Moore's $23.5 million base salary in 2028. Agents Drew Rosenhaus and Robert Bailey told Schefter. Moore's $23.5 million base salary in 2026 is fully guaranteed, and his 2027 base salary, also $23.5 million, becomes fully guaranteed next week. The trade cannot officially be processed until the new league year, which begins next Wednesday. Doesn't make the Bills better in the receiving corps. It's an upgrade. The A.J. Brown watch is on, too, with the Eagles. Now, since Stephon Diggs is not going to be in New England, everybody thinks that he's going to wind up in New England, which he'd still be a number one receiver in New England. He doesn't really get to decide where he wants to go because he's not a free agent. But I know there's been rumors out there. Keon Coleman's name has been mentioned because he's sort of been a bust in New England. Him and a couple of picks. I still think that if the terms would be suitable for Philly, I still think he winds up in Buffalo. And that would be a nice receiving core. A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir. Would that put them over the hump? I don't know. The defense is something to be desired. Keep an eye on that. Other news and notes from the NFL. Unfortunately, ex-Packers president, Team Hall of Famer Bob Harlan. Harlan has passed away at the age of 89, unfortunately. Prayers and thoughts to his family and friends. Reported by Rob Domofsky. He covers the Packers for ESPN. Harlan is the only person in NFL history to hire two general managers who won Super Bowls with entirely different rosters. That would be Mr. Ron Wolf and Mr. Ted Thompson. So, unfortunate news. Godspeed. From the world of basketball, reported by David Purdom, Espen. A judge has ordered Malik Beasley to pay $1 million to his former agency. The judge issued a $1 million civil judgment against NBA free agent Malik Beasley on Thursday in a contract dispute with his former agency. Judge Jeanette A. Vargas found Beasley liable for $1 million in damages, plus interest to be paid to New York-based Hazan Sports Management, his former agency. Vargas wrote in the ruling that despite ample warning, no objections have been filed and no request for an extension of time to object has been made. No attorney is listed for Beasley on the suit, and the docket does not show any action on Beasley's part. The ESPN called the number associated with Beasley. The person picked up and hung up right away. So go figure. He's kind of been a head case anyway. I hope he gets some help. Hopefully he does get some help. Reported by Pete Thamel and Dan Wetzel, Espen. The NCAA is appealing the ruling granting Ole Miss quarterback Mr. Trinidad Chambliss his sixth year. In a filing in the Mississippi Supreme Court on Thursday, the NCAA is appealing the injunction, claiming that the organization has final decision-making authority in the interpretation and application of its eligibility rules. Now listen to this. In the 658-page filing on Thursday, the NCAA argues that it should receive an I'm going to butcher the name, interlocutory appeal, an appeal of a non-final order because the injunction subjects the NCAA to substantial and irreparable damage. Per the filing, the NCAA argues that the Chambliss ruling cuts to the heart of fair play. The NCAA is charged with supporting its members' institutions and enforcing the rules that they adopt. Its even-handed enforcement of the eligibility rules is necessary to ensure a level playing field among all competitors and provide opportunities for incoming student athletes. Yada, yada, yada. Bullshit. Again, I'm tired of hearing this shit. Just for the simple... And I'll say it till the day I die. You open up Pandora's box. Can't close it. We just can't. And I'm tired of hearing of it. Again, did the powers that be across the land, and even the NCAA, did they not think shit like this was going to happen? That's all I'm saying. Reported by Lizzie Petrano, Espen. Lionel Messi and the Inter Miami squad, they were honored by the Trump at the White House today. Whatever. Good for them. Cooper Flagg, he's returning. He's cleared to play after missing 8 games. North Carolina star Mr. Wilson, he is still not cleared for a Duke return. Other NFL news and notes, so I'm trying to look here. New Orleans Saints franchise sack leader Cameron Jordan, he is going to become a free agent when the league begins next week. He has, let's see, he has 132 career sacks with the Saints, which I did not realize. Jordan's contract will automatically void if he does not have a new deal in place before the new league year begins at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Wednesday. If that happens, the Saints will absorb $18.76 million of dead money against their 2026 salary cap. If the Saints sign him to a new contract after that deadline, the dead money from the previous contract and any money from the new contract will both count against the salary cap. A lot of gobbledygook, a lot of numbers. The Seahawks have reached a 2-year deal, keeping linebacker Drake Thomas on the roster. The deal with incentives can be worth up to $9 million. So good for him. The 49ers have added Matt Eberflus to the defensive staff. Okay. Good luck with that, by the way. The Texans have reached an agreement to re-sign the veteran offensive tackle, Mr. Trent Brown. 1-year extension worth up to $7 million. Agent Drew, I think Drew Rosenhaus is an agent for just every player, because his name always keeps coming up. And this is not funny, because I truly believe that athletes with a lot of money just think that they can get out of it anything. Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett was issued another citation for speeding. That is his 9th speeding ticket. He was issued a citation for speeding after he was clocked going 94 miles an hour in a 70-mile-per-hour zone on the interstate in northeast Ohio last month, according to court records. Since entering the league in 2017, ladies and gentlemen, it's his 9th speeding ticket. That's basically 1 a year, and he still has a license. That's just sad. And look, athletes with a lot of money, they think they can do anything because they have a lot of money. They can get out of anything. Maybe that's partially true. I don't know. Let's jump to the NBA, shall we? Let's go over some scores from yesterday. It was a light slate yesterday. Thunder outlasted the Knicks 103-100. Leading scorer for the Thunder was Chet Holmgren with 28 points. Leading scorer for the Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns, 17 points, 17 boards. The Hornets beat up on my Celtics 118-89 in a shit showing for my C's. The Hornets' leading scorer was Con Neppel, 20 points. Leading scorer for the Celtics, Derek White, 29 points. Jaylen Brown had 20 points and 11 boards. 76ers beat the Jazz 105-102. Leading scorer for the Jazz, Keontae George, he had 30 points. Leading scorer for the 76ers, go figure, Tyrese Maxey had 25 points. The Trailblazers beat the Grizz 122 to 114. For the Trailblazers, leading scorer was Drew Holiday. He had 35 points. For the Grizzlies, leading scorer was Jalen Wells. He had 24 points. The Hawks buried the Bucks 131 to 113. Leading scorer for the Hawks, Akil Alexander Walker. He had 23 points. Dyson Daniels, 14 points, 10 boards for the Hawks. For the Bucks, Giannis with 24 points. And the Clippers hammered the Pacers 130 to 107. Leading scorer for the Pacers was Pascal Siakam, 29 points. Leading scorer for the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, had 29 points. On the docket today, right now in the first, early, Mavericks up on the Magic 8-4. In the first, right now, early, Wizards up on the Jazz 14-13. Later on, Nets at the Heat, the Warriors at the Rockets, Raptors at the Timberwolves, Pistons at the Spurs, Bulls at the Suns, the Lakers at the Nuggets, and the Pelicans at the Kings. Jump to the NHL, shall we? Some news and notes. The Dallas Stars have landed Mr. Michael Bunting from the Nashville Predators in their second deal ahead of the deadline. He joins defenseman Tyler Myers, who was acquired Wednesday for the Vancouver Canucks. So the Stars adding players to make a playoff push. St. Louis Blues, Colton Parayko, he has nixed a trade to go to the Sabres. From what I'm seeing here, Sabres had a trade agreement in place with the Blues to acquire Parayko, but only if the defenseman waived his no movement clause, and he did not. The Sabres, sneaky good the Sabres are this year, and they're trying to make some moves to make a playoff push, obviously. The Golden Knights traded for Washington Capitals center Nick Dowd, trying to bolster their front lineup. Some of this other stuff was from yesterday. Let's go to the scores from yesterday, shall we? In overtime, the Golden Knights beat the Wings 4-3. Final in a shootout, Devils over the Maple Leafs 4-3. Hurricanes outlast the Canucks 6-4. Ducks hammered the Islanders 5-1, and the Blues beat the Kraken 3-2. On the docket today, Maple Leafs, Rangers, Mammoth, Flyers, Sabres, Penguins all early in the first, no score. In the first, the Blue Jackets strike first over the Panthers, 1-0. Later on, the Bruins at the Predators, the Lightning at the Jets, the Senators at the Flames, and the Islanders at the Kings. Major League Baseball for some of you jabronis. Actually, let's go to the World Baseball Classic. Score from yesterday, Australia beat Chinese Taipei 3-0. Earlier today, Korea beat Czechia 11-4. At 10 o'clock tonight, Czechia will play Australia. And I went over the games from yesterday. There's a heavy slate this weekend, but I've already gone over that schedule. So Major League Baseball scores from yesterday exhibition-wise, which I don't care. Astros beat the Orioles 4-2. The Yankees blanked the Sox 4-0. The Red Sox. Diamondbacks beat the Athletics 3-1. Cubs beat the Brewers 4-1, and the Giants all over the Mariners 9-4. Today's slate, earlier games. Braves bested the Blue Jays 9-5. The Twins, final in 7 innings, hammer the Yankees 15-0. Phillies over the Red Sox 6-2. The Cardinals over the Pirates 3-2. Orioles over the Rays 4-3. Nationals over the Mets 7-4. Marlins blanked the Stros 2-0. The Reds scored a late touchdown to beat the Dodgers 14-13. The Cubs beat the Diamondbacks 8-1. Brewers outlasted the Rockies 10-8. Athletics 16, Angels 11. Great pitching duel. And the Padres beat the Mariners 27-6. Later on, the Guardians at the White Sox, and the Rangers will be playing the Royals. Just some tidbits here from baseball. Looks like Astros shortstop Jeremy Pena, he fractured his fingertip. Painful, painful, painful. I doubt if he's going to be playing the rest of the way. I went over this. Most of this stuff I went over yesterday. NCAA men's basketball. We are T-minus 10 days away from Selection Sunday. Top 25 action yesterday. Number 7, Houston beat Baylor 77-64. Number 15, Purdue over Northwestern 70-66. Number 20, Arkansas beats Texas 105-85. Number 22, Miami beat SMU 77-69. Number 25, St. Louis beat Loyola Chicago 79-65. Only 2 top 25 games tonight. Number 3, Michigan will be at Iowa, and number 8, Michigan State hosts Rutgers. On the women's side, ladies and gentlemen, top 25 action yesterday. Like I said, only one. Number 17, Kentucky hammered Arkansas 94-64. That was the SEC tournament first round. Also, SEC tournament second round tonight. Number 24, Ole Miss up on Auburn 57-35. At the half, Big Ten tournament second round. Right now, Illinois is up on number 18, Michigan State 36-29. 9 o'clock tonight, Big Ten tournament second round. Oregon plays number 14, Maryland. Earlier today, number 7, Oklahoma beat Florida 82-64, SEC tournament second round. Big Ten tournament second round, number 11, Ohio State beat Indiana 83-59. Kentucky, with their winning ways, goes back-to-back. SEC tournament second round, number 17, Kentucky over number 22, Georgia 76-61. And Big 12 second round, Kansas State upsets number 21, Texas Tech 58-51. Golf. PGA Tour Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard down there at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge in Orlando. Mr. Daniel Berger shot a 9 under 63 to take a 3-shot lead over Colin Morikawa and Ludwig Albert. LPGA, the Blue Bay LPGA out there at the Jian Lake Blue Bay Golf Course in Hainan Island, China. 3 golfers at the top of the leaderboard was 6 under 66s. Yumin Huang, Weiwei Zhang, and Mary Liu, all at 6 under. PGA Tour champions will kick off tomorrow at the old course at Broken Sound Club in Boca Raton, Florida. The Live gentlemen kicked it back off again this week at the Hong Kong Golf Club at Fanling, Hong Kong. Carlos Ortiz shot a 10 under 60 to take a 2-shot lead. The DP World Tour still going on in Houghton Golf Club, Johannesburg, South Africa. Right now, Luke Brown up on top with a 7 under round so far. He is yet to complete his round. He is through 12. And the Corn Ferry Tour at the Estara Chile Classic presented by Scotiabank at the Prince of Wales Country Club in Santiago, Chile. James Nicholas and Caleb Van Aragon, each 7 under par. They shot 64s. So there you have it. But let me go to soccer. Again, EPL had a few games this weekend. There are no EPL games Friday through Saturday. I do believe. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I don't think there are any. But let me double check it. There was one game today. Crystal Palace beat Tottenham 3-1. And then there is no EPL this weekend. Tomorrow, English FA Cup kicks back off. Wolverhampton will be hosting Liverpool. English FA Cup on Saturday. Mansfield Town will be hosting Arsenal. Wrexham hosts Chelsea. Newcastle hosts Man City. Then on Sunday, FA Cup, Fulham hosts Southampton. Port Vale will host Sunderland. And Leeds will host Norwich City. The NASCAR boys this weekend. Reddick probably going to go for 4 in a row here since he's won the first 3. They are in Phoenix this particular weekend. Let me just go to my stats like I always do to see who does well at this particular track. I always like to delve back into the past to see who's done well there over the years. Joey Logano has 4 wins there recently. Jimmy Johnson has 4, but Jimmy Johnson runs a part-time schedule. Kyle Busch has 3. Christopher Bell has 2. Denny Hamlin has 2. Bunch of them with just a win. Kyle Larson has the best average finish at 10.3. Denny Hamlin second, 10.5. Ryan Blaney, 10.9. Kyle Busch, 11.2. So, with all that being said, I'm just going to go based off history. I'm going to say Logano will probably win the race. I will go Kyle Busch second, Christopher Bell third, Denny Hamlin fourth, and I'll go Ryan Blaney fifth in that order. There you have it. Don't take me for face value. We will see. What else have I not touched on? I think that's going to do it. Oh, by the way, if I can pull it up here, because I never like to shortchange anybody. So let me take a look-see. Coming up after me at 8 p.m. here on the Cole County Entertainment Network and Goose Media. Let's see. Nope, I just lost it. Give me just 1 second. I believe. I'm trying to find it. Damn it. Yes, coming up at 8. No skips. With my man Tom Kelly and guests. Talk about music. I have watched some of the shows. I've caught snippets of it. Good show. Catch them at 8 o'clock. No skips. So that's going to do it for me. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Better weather is ahead, by the way, which is fantastic. As I close out each show, and I keep looking over here because I'm watching these doofuses down in Washington, D.C., who act like fucking first graders. I know first graders, you could stick a bunch of first graders in a room. Let's just take 485 first graders, stick them in a room, and they could do better than these guys do and these women. Practice compassion, practice empathy, have passion for what you do. Hug somebody every once in a while, you might make their day. Tell somebody you love them. You might not get a second opportunity. And for the love of Christ, if you see somebody struggling in any sort of fashion, ask questions, inquire how you might be able to help, how you can get them help. It might not just be saving a life. You might be saving a multitude of lives. So, with all that being said, have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe out there. Prayers to our troops. Don't get me started. There's only one thing left to do, and that's for Danny Don Meredith to take me out. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.